Today it's our third full day here and final day. We're leaving tomorrow, although really late at night. So we're gonna be going to another beach, and at this time on the other side of Dubrovnik, and then we might explore the Old Town. But for now, we're gonna go have some breakfast and coffee, and then we'll take the bus to the beach. Let's go.
So I'm a little spoiled in Greece with all the iced coffee, and elsewhere in the world that I've been, I can't drink hot coffee in the summer, so I got a double espresso and a cup of ice outside. Yesterday I asked for an iced espresso, and that's kind of how it came, so that is how I will continue forward.
And there you go, folks, iced espresso.
I'm gonna try that. So we came here yesterday and left, but she was taking these out of the oven, which looked really good. And I guess it's ham and cheese and ketchup. So a little bit interesting. And a lot of bread. Inside. I'm gonna try and flip it around to have it from the sauce. It's really good. It's exactly what you would expect with ketchup, cheese, and ham. I'm having a bit of TMJ issues today, so I probably shouldn't have done something as chewy, but whatever. It's good.
Oh, and before I forget, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps us out so much. We really appreciate your support. Alright, now we can move on. If you're visiting Dubrovnik, something to know about the bus system. One, you have to download a different app. It's called Move It. But the other thing is we've been paying with cash every time we've been going into the bus, and that is 15 kuna, which comes to be about $2. But we just found out that you can, right by the gate of the Old Town, you can come to that kiosk right there and get a day pass. And the day pass is so much cheaper. It lasts for 24 hours, and it turned out to be $4.50 per person. And if you actually do about 2 trips, it's a lot easier, and you can pay with card. So too bad we didn't know that earlier, because we spent a lot more money without the day passes, but better late than never, right? We made it to Vis Beach.
Seems pretty quiet here, which is nice.
And this place has a water park, so we'll see if we can access that.
It's nice. Water looks clean.
You know what the best thing to do is when you're so hot?
On the water?
Yeah. Dip in the water. It's amazing. It feels like it's not even hot anymore. It's perfect.
Yeah, and then you get it very quickly.
And then very quick.
And you quickly defrost to room temperature.
We've been swimming for about 45 minutes. I'd call that a good workout. So let's go get some lunch. Okay, I got a really cool fact for you. Does anyone know where the Dalmatian dogs come from? It's actually from this region, because this is the Dalmatia region, and it got its name way back in the day because of a specific Illyrian tribe that settled in this region. And actually the Illyrian tribe that kind of moved its way from what is now Greece all the way up here, so they are known to have had settlements in Albania, Croatia, Montenegro, but the specific tribe that was here, it was called the Dalmatia Tribe, and that took place in the classical era, so between the 8th and 6th century BC. And they even had their own language, which is now extinct. And the region kept its name when the Roman Empire came over and took over, when the Venetian Empire took over way later, in I believe 1700s. Yeah, so I had no idea that those cute dogs come from this region. That's really cool. This is such a cool little walk.
Yeah, it's really cute. I know we haven't spent more than like probably an hour in the Old Town so far, but don't just stay there. Come to the rest of the city, like the other neighborhoods, because this is really nice and it's a lot quieter.
Yeah, over there it's like really overwhelming. I think that's why we have avoided it a little bit. But but this is, I really like this side. It's really cool. You ready to go to Old Town?
Very ready.
Let's go explore the Old Town of Dubrovnik. Cheers. Okay, so we've been on a mission to find one of the highest points so we can take some cool shots and pictures, because the entrance to actually walk the walls, and right now we're standing right by the walls that have the perimeter of the whole thing over along there, so it goes all the way like that till there. However, we're traveling on a budget and we couldn't actually pay 30 euro per person to do the walk. So I think this is a cool spot that will give us good views.
I would say that even though it's more on the expensive side to stay and like do things here, you still, I feel like, can do it on a budget, where if you want to have more like street food, have a pastry for breakfast, the beaches are actually probably like the cheapest thing to do here.
Yeah.
So if you
except the umbrellas.
Except for the umbrellas. But if you want to go to the beach in your own way, not like rent anything, have cheap food, just spend time walking around, coming places like this, it's doable.
The city of Dubrovnik, this old town that we're in right now, didn't actually start as Dubrovnik. It started as Ragusa or Ragusa, which is derived from Italian. They had many occupiers, starting with the Illyrians, then the Romans, and after the Roman Empire fell, it was the Byzantines that took over. And then for a brief period, I believe it was around the 1600s to the 1700s, it was the Phoenicians that took over. And later on, the region of Dalmatia was sold to the Venetians, but the city of Dubrovnik actually stayed its own city republic for actually quite a bit of time. And a really cool fact, the Republic of Dubrovnik was actually one of the first nations to recognize the independence of the United States during the 18th century. And during those times, the Republic was thought as a very liberal place to be, and it actually had a blooming of the arts and literature. And the Republic of Dubrovnik actually earned the title of the South Slav of Athens, because Athens used to be where arts and literature and democracy flourished in ancient times. Now it has another nickname that was given by Lord Byron on his tour of Europe, and it's the Pearl of the Adriatic, which I can see why.
Also, bouncing off of what Maria was just saying about the history of Dubrovnik and Croatia, it's interesting to kind of travel throughout different countries in Europe like we're doing, and then learn about the history, but then also kind of patch together the way that they all fit with each other, and how most of Europe has a very similar history. And the cultures that we know of now are kind of just an accumulation of like how they've moved past the occupations over time, and then that's how they create their own cultures. So it's really interesting, so similar but so different at the same
time. All right, and for our Game of Thrones fans, this was a major filming set for Game of Thrones. And actually the first season was filmed in Malta with some other locations around the world, but then King's Landing became this. And so many locals from the area have been part of the filming, and so it's really cool. They do a lot of tours here.
So our travels are sort of becoming a Game of Thrones.
Not
Which I've never even seen the show.
Not intentional either.
So now we just have to go to Iceland, and we've done 3 for 3.
I mean, we did almost 5 flights for Iceland for like €9. This is not a very Croatian food, but then you know what? We were passing by. The view is really pretty. There's a nice breeze, and it smelled amazing, so we went for it. We just finished our pizza. It was actually delicious. I really like the red sauce. That was perfect. Hit the spot. Amazing beer. I really like my beer.
That's mine too.
Good. And great service. So if you're around here for pizza, good prices compared to what you could be paying in the old town. Like our bus driver said yesterday, it's robbery over here, so the locals don't really come. Really good. Another awesome trip is coming to an end. We're a bit sad to leave, but also the sleeping situation wasn't so comfortable, so we're glad to be going back to Athens and sleep in our own bed. That's very comfy. So I can't help myself, but when I go to a new country, I kind of compare it to the other countries we've been to, especially the other countries around the area that we have visited. And so this is, I would say, pretty Mediterranean. It's in the Balkans, but it's a Mediterranean country as well.
Definitely feels a mix of both.
Yeah, it feels a mix of both. The people, I think the people are kind of like a mix. I mean, Greece is in the Balkans and it's Mediterranean too. I do feel like the people have pretty similar attitudes as the Greek culture. The scenery, really, really beautiful. It reminded me a lot of the northwest part of Greece when we went to the island of Corfu. Go check out that video if you haven't watched it. Because Croatia is such a slim country, it's really interesting how everything is kind of built in the front of the mountain and just down below, so that's why the streets are so narrow, and it's the streets go in kind of level, so you have a one way going like this, and then you have like another way going like this down the mountain.
A lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs.
Very good food. Wish we could have more.
Yeah, very good food. I definitely wish we had a little more. And the thing is, we do try to travel on a budget because we're traveling all the time. And it's unfortunate because a lot of the places that have traditional food tend to be the ones that are more on the expensive side. So we didn't really get to try...
Other than street food.
Yeah, other than street food, I'm sure if we weren't in such a touristy place, we would probably be able to go to a more traditional restaurant without the high prices that it was here. Alright, so our plane's here. It's getting pretty late. We're gonna go grab a bite to eat. Don't forget, as always, we really appreciate you smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel, and until the next one, have a good one, guys.